Hearts is quite possibly one of the most confusing video games to understand in terms of its lore. Don't get me wrong, there's probably plenty of other video games out there on planet Earth that have equally as confusing lore as Kingdom Hearts, if not more confusing. There's a lot you need to learn about Kingdom Hearts as a whole to actually understand what is going on. Everything from the heart, light, darkness, the time traveling aspects, pretty much everything in the game to where it's progressed now, you have to learn about each and every single one of the aspects that is kind of concurred during the timeline of Kingdom Hearts. And as more spin-offs and other titles release, the game just gets more and more and more confusing. Honestly, it's one of the biggest reasons why I fucking love this game. Today, I thought I'd present to you guys a theory that I find absolutely mind-blowing. And the funny thing about this theory is I feel as if it's very, very likely to actually happen. Now, this theory has actually been out for a while now, ever since the introduction of the foretellers into the Kingdom Hearts lore, and upon reading it, I'd say around about a year ago, I was pretty intrigued and quite interested, and I could see how it could actually work. However, just due to the fact that we have recently received a brand new, Kingdom Hearts trailer for Kingdom Hearts 2.8, with inside of that trailer, we actually got to hear the voice acting of the foretellers in their Japanese voice actors during the Kingdom Hearts Key back cover section of the 2.8 trailer. When watching this, I thought to myself, what about that Rebirth Theory? Is there any evidence within this small little kind of section of this trailer that actually could prove towards the Rebirth Theory that has actually become very popular within the Kingdom Hearts community? Is there any proof in this trailer from the Kingdom Hearts Key back cover section that that theory could actually be very much true? Through comparing the Japanese voice actors for the foretellers to the Japanese voice actors of Aqua, Ventus, Riku, Terra, as well as Kairi, I'm pretty certain that this quote-unquote rebirth theory that a user has come up with is pointing towards being even more real. Now, we're already around about 3 minutes into this video. You're probably sitting there utterly confused, so let me just lay this out for you guys right now. There's a theory over on the Kingdom Hearts Insider forums named the Rebirth Theory, and I have to say that it is one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting Kingdom Hearts theory that I have ever read. The theory goes over a lot of different things to do with the current lore of the game. Everything to do with the foretellers, reincarnation, as well as Xehanort. Figuring out stuff like, Xehanort's reincarnation, kind of the Seekers of Darkness, as well as the foretellers and whatnot. Now, I'm not actually going to read the entire theory because honestly, that would take a ton of time. But I am actually going to be going over the most mind-boggling and mind-blowing thing that this user has kind of somewhat sort of figured out. Now, this user believes that Aqua, Terra, Riku, Ventus, and Kairi are actually reincarnations of the foretellers from Kingdom Hearts Key. Yes, that's right, the foretellers, these almighty, powerful, ancient Keyblade wielders, are actually Aqua, Terra, Ventus, Riku, and Kairi. That's crazy, right? It can't actually be true. Or can it? So let's go back to what I was actually talking about earlier. As you guys would know, I was actually talking about comparing the foretellers voice actors in the Jump Festa trailer to each of the Japanese voice actors for Aqua, Ventus, Riku, Terra, and Kairi. Now, it's not confirmed or known for sure, but it sounds as if the foreteller that represents each of these different characters who are meant to be reincarnations coincidentally sound exactly the freaking same. Now, who knows, it could actually just be a coincidence down at Square Enix's end where they've just coincidentally got each of these different characters to voice act for the foretellers, but I don't think it's actually something that's just like that. I think there's more to the actual reason behind getting the voice actors of these original characters that we know for the different kind of foretellers that in some sense actually represent Aqua, Ventus, Terra, Riku, and Kairi. Now, I'm going to play a clip comparing each of the foretellers to who they actually represent in the Kingdom Hearts series as we know today, and tell me what you guys think.
欠落のない完全な予知書を誰かが持っていて、 それを持っている者が裏切り者だと。
テラがそんなことをするはずがない。ベンもよく知ってるでしょ。
闇の動きがあることは確かだろう。だが俺たちの中に裏切り者がいるとは思えない。
俺はレースに興味はないが、アンバースを倒さなければならない。どうすればいい？
欠落した一辺、そこには裏切りの余地が記されていた。
ごめんアクア、まだ帰れないよ。俺早くテラに会わないといけないんだ。
この中の誰かが裏切り者って決まったわけじゃないよね。
きっと待ってるだけじゃダメなんだ。
その通り。
ロストページ、予知書から欠落した一辺があるようだ。
お前ほど単純じゃないんだよ。
So that's actually pretty damn crazy, right? Well, there is actually more evidence pointing towards these original characters that we know being reincarnations of the Foretellers. Let's look at the color schemes for each of the different Foretellers. First of all, let's look at the Angius Foreteller. As you guys can see, Ava has a bluey kind of, color scheme going on her robes with a white. Now let's look at Aqua. If we look at Aqua, Aqua has the exact same kind of color scheme going on. She obviously represents blue, she's got a lot of white around her, so is it a coincidence that they have the same color scheme, as well as the same voice actor? Let's look at the Leopardus Foreteller. You guys will notice that he's got kind of a orangey yellow color scheme going on, and he's got a lot of grey around him too. If we look at Ventus, we'll also notice that although he doesn't really have too much yellow and whatnot, he does have a lot of grey. I think the yellow might actually stem from the different metal parts on his outfit. Now let's look at the Unicornus Foreteller. The Unicornus Foreteller has a lot of blue, white, and gold, as well as a bit of grey as well. If we look at Riku, Riku's also got the same kind of colour scheme as well. He's got the goldy yellow colours on him, he's got white, he's got the blue, and he's even got grey hair too. Now let's look at the Ursus Foreteller. We'll notice that on the Ursus Foreteller, he's got a lot of brown/tan colours going on. Then if we compare him to Terra, we'll notice that Terra also has a lot of tanny kind of brown colouring as well. Not only that, but it appears that the Ursus Foreteller kind of has a darker/more tanny skin tone in comparison to the rest of them. We'll also notice that Terra kind of also does have a more darker skin tone as well, which would kind of match him up to the Ursus Foreteller. And finally, let's look at the Vulpius Foreteller. The Vulpius Foreteller is a shorter female character, and she represents mainly pink. So if we compare her to Kairi, it's pretty obvious that the color schemes match up. Kairi represents a lot of pink on her outfit. I thought I'd also mention that the height comparisons are pretty much exact. I mean, for example, if you look at Ventus and compare him to the Leopardus Foreteller, the height is pretty much exact. Now, this is something that we can't really be too sure of because we're comparing 3D characters from the normal Kingdom Hearts games to the 2D versions of the Foretellers that we currently have out of Kingdom Hearts Key and Unchained Key. I feel as if we'll have a better kind of interpretation to compare these characters between each other when we finally get Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, as we know that game is going to be a 3D game rather than a 2D game. So with the voices sounding exactly the same corresponding to each of the different foretellers that apparently the foreteller represents to that original character, and the different color coordinations that go between, like say, the Unicornus foreteller and Riku, etc, etc, it's pretty clear to see that there is something a little bit suspicious and fishy going on. Now, of course, we don't really have too much evidence pointing towards this being an actuality, but honestly, this is Tetsuya Nomura we're dealing with, okay? He has some crazy ideas in his head, just from what we've seen with everything that's already transpired in Kingdom Hearts as it is. And with everything that's going on currently in Kingdom Hearts Key, with learning about the different kind of happenings to do with the origin story of Kingdom Hearts and everything that's happened in the past, and the stuff to do with Xehanort, as well as the foretellers, and the Tome of Prophecies, the time travel thing, I would say that this theory is actually extremely possible. I don't think this is really a theory theory where you can look at it and say this will never happen, because honestly, from the tiny little bits of evidence that we currently have, I think this might actually be bound to happen. Now remember guys, at the end of the day, this is a theory, so obviously this might not actually end up happening, something similar to it might end up happening, or in another conclusion, this might actually end up happening. And I really hope it does. But what I will do is I will leave the theory in the description below. The Rebirth Theory is absolutely mind-boggling, but it's so damn great at the same time. It is the best Kingdom Hearts theory that I've ever read, like I mentioned. So I suggest that you guys definitely go over to that link and check it out. There's a lot more information on exactly this subject. However guys, hopefully I haven't confused you too much and boggled your minds. I know when I'm putting the pieces together, it kind of like freaks me out sometimes, especially because of the fact that I can see this being extremely possible. Anyway guys, what's your thoughts on this subject? Let me know in the comments section below, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.